Hi, this is Nadia from China Admissions, and this is our first live Q&A with China Admissions, where you can ask questions about studying in China, about admissions to Chinese universities, and about life in China. So far, during the past 2 days, a lot of you have already submitted your questions to us on the Instagram story, and we really appreciate you for that. Thank you for joining. So we will be covering the questions that was already submitted since on the past 2 days, and so far there are like 14 different questions that I will share the answers about on this live Q&A. And yeah, sorry for the previous technical issues. We have some issues going on with the smartphone. That's why the connection got cut off. But hopefully this new live session can run out smoothly, so if we can cover all the questions or all of your doubts regarding Chinese universities, regarding applying to Chinese universities. And if you have any other questions, please do let me know by writing it on the comment below there. So if you have any questions about admissions to China, Chinese universities, live or studying in China, please do let me know. You can just directly write it on the comment below. Thank you guys for joining. Hello everyone. It's alright. Okay, so I'll just cover the first out of the 14 questions in this live Q&A. So the first one is basically the most asked questions from all international students from all around the world, which is about when will international students able to come to China. So as everybody knows, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, international students are not yet allowed to come to China per March 28, 2020 because of the pandemic. And there's actually no information yet, and there is no official information yet from the Chinese government regarding when international students can travel back to China. So we are waiting for the latest update from the Chinese government regarding the border reopening date for the international students. So there is no official news yet for now, and that's why international students are still not allowed to come back to China, and the border is still closed for international students. And I hope that every one of you can patiently wait for the good news to come. And then in the meantime, I also do hope that all of you can also enjoy your online classes, although there might be some challenges to the online classes as well. But yeah, I do hope that you are there hanging on until the border is back open for international students to go to China. Right, so I guess there are some questions I can cover this. So from Ervin, what is the age limit to study in China? So the age limit to study in China is actually, it depends on which program you're applying for. So if you're applying for the non-degree Chinese language program, then the age limit is up to 60 years old. But if you're applying for the bachelor's program, normally it is up to 30 years old. For the master's program, it is up to 35, and for PhD is up to 40 years old. And the minimum age is 18. So in the whole China, regardless of whichever program you're applying for, you must be at least 18 to apply, because it's related in getting the student visa. Right, so from Emmy, so can we get bachelor scholarship and receive stipend per month? So some of you already asked about this question. So this type of scholarship, it's called the fully funded scholarship. Normally it is a part of the Chinese government scholarship, or what everybody knows as the CSC scholarship. So yes, you can now apply for this Chinese government scholarship. So the CSC scholarship is already open for application, and the application deadline is at the end of March. Please apply on time, and please do not apply after the deadline, because Chinese universities do not accept late applications for a scholarship. So after March 2021, they will no longer accept scholarship applications. So for the CSC scholarship, there are two ways where you can apply. The first one, you can send your applications to the Chinese embassy located in your home country, and this is called the CSC scholarship type A. And the second type is the type B, where you need to send the application documents to the university in China. So for example, if you're applying for Shandong University in China, then you need to send the application documents completely, and also pay the application fee to Shandong University in China. So yeah, please again note that Chinese universities do not accept late application. So if you want to apply, whether it's scholarship or self-finance, please do apply now before it's too late. And then there's also some other things as some partial scholarships that we at China Admissions can help you to apply for. For example, there's this bachelor scholarships at BLCC and Tianjin University, where you can learn Chinese for the first year and then you can continue to learn bachelor's program for 3 to 4 years. And then there's this scholarships as well at BFSU, Beijing Foreign Studies Universities, for those of you who wants to pursue bachelor or master in business or economics and trade or anything related to business and economics. And then there's also this scholarship at Jiangsu University. It's the presidential scholarship, which is the Jiangsu University scholarship, which is mainly for the master's and PhD students. So they have the like a big tuition fee discount for master students. It's like almost 80% or like 90% of the tuition fee is going to be free. But for the PhD students at Jiangsu University, then the tuition fee will be free and they will give free accommodations to all PhD international students. So how to get a scholarship, how to apply for the partial scholarship at Jiangsu University or at BLCC, please do check China Admissions. You can easily find our platform on the profile of our Instagram. You can search the program there. You can easily type Jiangsu University or BLCC scholarship, where you can get more information about the scholarship I just mentioned, and we can help you apply to for these partial scholarships. Right, so yeah, if again, thanks for all of you who just joined. If you have any questions, you can just write it down below. Yeah, so yeah, I'll cover the other questions about MBBS in China from students who already submitted these questions in the past 2 days. So some students are asking about MBBS in China. What are the best MBBS program in China, and is there any MBBS program in China that are taught in English? And when is the intake for the MBBS program? So yes, MBBS in China is available in both Chinese and English. So if you don't know any Chinese language, then I suggest applying for the English.MBBS. Normally, majority of the university will only offer MBBS program in September intake, which means the next intake would be in this September 2021, and you can actually apply now because admissions is already open for September 2021 intake. And MBBS is very, very competitive because it's very popular for students from all over the world. Because in China, the MBBS program is relatively affordable compared to other countries, whether it's developing countries or developed countries, and also the quality of the education here is amazing. So yeah, please do check out China Admissions, where you can see there are about 40 MBBS programs that are recognized in China that you can apply for. And another tips is that if you are planning to be a medical doctor back home in your home country, please also check with your local government, because usually some countries, they have a list of the accepted universities, especially for students who are studying MBBS abroad. So make sure that the universities you are applying for in China is recognized back home in your home country. So yeah, next is from Nadia Mohammed. What are the most wanted jobs in China? Well, I think for now, there are so many jobs available in China. You can, even as a foreigner, you can join some engineering field. You can be a medical doctor in China. You can work in the business sector. You can basically work in any sectors in China. So the job opportunity here is wide, and also there are different types of different range of jobs that people can apply here. So whether it's available for the Chinese citizens, or there are also some huge opportunity for the internationals as well. So yeah, there's a question from Anu, university fees. So the cost of studying in China, basically different university will have different tuition fee. But for the degree program like bachelor, master's, and PhD program, normally the tuition fee in China, it starts from $2,500 per year up to $13,000 per year. So it depends on the program and it depends on the university as well. But on average, it's usually about $5,000 ish. Yeah, for 1 year. And then from Sarah. How to write personal statement. So personal statement is needed if you're applying to Chinese universities, especially for the degree programs for bachelor, master, and PhD. Normally, for bachelor program, the maximum limit of words that you should write in your personal statement is 800. So it shouldn't be that long. But for masters and PhD, you can write up to 1,000 or 1,500 words. And then it should be in either Chinese or English. And what you need to highlight in your personal statement when applying to Chinese universities, first of all, you have to introduce yourself. Personal statement have to be engaging in a way. This is going to be the first time the university get to know you in person. So you have to introduce yourself, your background, your education background, your achievements, if any, and then you have to let them know the reason why you want to study at the university in China, the reason why you want to come to study in China, and then the reason why you want to study the program. For example, if you're applying for a business program, you have to mention the reason why you want to study business program in China at the university you're applying for. So it's better that way. And then at the final part of your personal statement, it's best if you can mention your future plan after finishing your study at the university. And if you need any more tips about how to write the personal statement, actually, we have a YouTube channel and we have a video about it. So later you can check YouTube and you can just write China admissions and you'll find our channel there. And we have given you we have a video about the tips and tricks and a guide on how to write a personal statement. Right, so we have another student asking on how to reach HSK level 4 in just 1 year, considering if the student is a beginner Chinese learner. So whether or not if this is possible. So I would say that it is highly possible, because I have some friends who actually managed to reach HSK level 4 from 0 to HSK level 4 in just 1 year, and they're all international students. So they came from Thailand, Japan, Laos, and they managed to do it. So I feel like if there are people who actually manage to do it, then it should be possible for everyone. So it depends as well on how diligent you are and how hardworking you are in exercising and in keep learning the language. And also there's this program called there's this program from DNUI, Dalian News of University of Information. You can check it later on China Admissions, and we'll share it on Instagram story as well. So for this program from Dalian News of University of Information, they have this program where you can learn from 0 to HSK level 4 in just 6 months. How amazing is that? So in 6 months, you'll reach the fluency of HSK level 4. It means that you are fluent in you're fluent in Chinese language, and normally with HSK level 4 certificate, you can apply to some universities in China for the degree programs in Chinese language. Right, so again, if you have any other questions, please leave it on the comment below. So I will answer that, and I will also answer the questions that have been submitted in the past 2 days. Right, so we have a question from the student, which is asking about what is the best city to study in China. So in my opinion, there's no such thing as the best city to study in China, because from what I see and from what I experience here, education in China is well distributed. So unlike in some countries where, for example, if you go to the big cities, then the education quality is good, and if in the smaller ones, then the education is not so good. But that's not the case with China. So they managed to have an equally distributed education quality. So no matter which city you are going, whether you're going to big cities like Beijing or Shanghai, or if you're going to a smaller ones, like maybe smaller than Beijing or Shanghai, or like Hangzhou or Ningbo, Suzhou, maybe you're going to Xiamen or like Harbin, or like literally anywhere, you can still find a top quality universities. You can still find a top ranking universities there. So yeah, it depends on the program you're applying for. So I would really suggest that you do a little bit research as well about the cities, because China is way too big. China is so big. That's why if you're going to the southern part of China compared to the northern part of China, you might experience different weather, for example, or like different ambience, different environment and stuff. That's why I think that's also can be a consideration when you're choosing the best city for you to study in China. Because in terms of the education quality, there are good universities, there are great, excellent universities in any cities in China. So no matter which city you're going, whether it's big or the smaller one, you can still find and you can still be able to study at the high quality universities. Next question is about the admissions for 2021 and how long is the process until students can get the admissions from applying until the end. So admissions for 2021 intake is already open, and the next available intake would be in September 2021, especially if you are planning to apply for the degree programs. And the process itself, the processing time is actually different from each university, but normally within 4 to 8 weeks you will be able to get the result from the university. So the first thing you need to do and when applying is to check on China Admissions platform on the programs that you want to apply for, and you can actually apply on China Admissions for free, and we don't charge any service fee for helping you apply, especially for the self-finance students. And what you need to pay is only the application fee, because application fee is required by the university. And then after you complete your application, your documents and the application fee, and then we will process your application right away and then submit it to the university. And then the countdown starts. So after that, the university usually needs about 4 to 8 weeks to review your documents, to invite you for an online interview if there's any. Majority of the university will invite you for an interview if you're qualified, and after the interview, then they will make the final decision on whether or not they will accept you as the student. And then if they accept you as the student, you will get the pre-admissions letter. Normally then you will need to pay the deposit fee payment to the university to secure your seat, and after that they will give you the admissions letter. And yeah, I have another question. There are some other questions from wait, let me check here. Yeah, so from Madara, in your opinion, on September, I think we will go back or not, because there are vaccines and everything right now. So I do hope, like I do have high hopes for international students to be able to come back soon, but again, we are still waiting for the updates from the Chinese government, and hopefully with all the vaccines and everything, like with all the technologies to create the medicines and everything, it will kill the COVID-19 virus from the world, so that the world can heal faster as well, so that it will also boost up the chance of international students being able to come back to China. So for now, we are still waiting for the update from the Chinese government, but hopefully we can hear a great news in the near future. Yeah, so from Nadia, can I apply for scholarship even before I get a degree from my last year of high school? So yeah, I realize that some of you have this type of questions where, for example, you will be graduated from high school in June. By then, you will only get the diploma in June. So what you need to do is that to ask your school to provide you a pre-graduation certificate, whereas in the pre-graduation certificate, the school needs to mention your expected graduation date. So it can say like the student will graduate in June 2021, and you can use that as a substitute of the high school diploma or as a substitute of the bachelor's diploma. Yeah. And another question is about the possibilities for international students to study offline in this year's intake. So for the spring 2021 intake, because the border is still closed for international students, most universities have decided to conduct online classes for international students who are still stuck overseas. So it's going to be online, but some universities in China realizing that some of their students are already in China before the border is closed, okay, already in China before March 2020. So they've been in China ever since. So they might also conduct offline courses for students who are already in China at the moment. So it's going to be quite like a hybrid situation in the spring 2021 intake. So yeah, but again, it depends on the COVID-19 situation in that particular city where the university is located. But for the September 2021 intake, actually universities still haven't decided on how the format of the classes would be. So they still haven't decided on how the format of the classes would be. So they're still waiting and they're still seeing whether they will still see about the COVID-19 situation in September 2021. And also another thing to consider is going to be whether it's going to be if the border is open for international students. So if the border is open for international students for September, then students will be invited to study on campus. But if it's not yet open by September, then international students will have to go through the online courses again. So by now, we still don't know. We still have no official information yet on whether or not the border will be open by September. So we shall wait for more updates from the Chinese universities and also from the Chinese government. Once they get an official update about the border reopening for international students, then they will let everybody knows about the exact format for the classes in the September 2021 intake. Right, so another question would be about China admissions. So what is China admissions and what services do we offer to international students, and what are the benefits on applying to Chinese universities using China admissions? Hi everyone who just joined. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave your questions on the comment below so we can discuss it together. So China Admissions is an award-winning platform which help international students to apply to Chinese universities and to successfully study in China. So overall, right now we have partnered with around 100 of top Chinese universities in China, and also we have more than 100,000 registered students on our platform. And yeah, we have this free service to help international students apply to Chinese universities. So you can easily apply to Chinese universities, to multiple Chinese universities on just one platform, on China Admissions platform. And we don't charge any service fee for helping you apply, especially for the self-funded students. And so all you need to pay is just the application fee because that's required by the university. And aside from that, if you're applying from the China Admissions, aside from the fact that you can apply to multiple universities in just one platform, it is going to be way more simple and easy. And aside from that, it's free of charge, as I mentioned before. So there's no additional fee, but you get the help from us who are experts in Chinese universities, who are expert in the Chinese education system, who are expert with admissions in China. You'll get an expert help from us where we will guide you in the whole application process, starting from preparing for your application, preparing the documents, paying the fee, until submitting your application to the universities, and we will be the one getting all the updates from the universities for you. And if you have any questions, anything at all, you can just directly message us anytime and we will respond right away. So we are reachable by email, by WhatsApp, WeChat, or like we occasionally do live Instagram like this, and we have some online events on Zoom, like the online open day. We will have an online open day on Sunday. Well, I'll inform you later. So yeah, we occasionally have online events to connect with the students and also to connect the students with the universities in China. So if you have any questions, please do let us know and we will be gladly assist you. Right, so the next question would be about whether or not it is possible to apply for master's program with 3 years of bachelor's So what you need to have when applying for the master's program is to have a bachelor's diploma. And if you're applying for the PhD program, you need to have the master's diploma. So whether if the duration is 3 years, if that's the system in your country, then that's fine as well. So as long as you can get your you can get the bachelor's diploma to prove that you have finished the whole bachelor studies, then you can apply for master's program in China. And then we have another questions asking about whether or not it is possible to study Chinese and to study and masters at the same time. Yes, it's actually possible, or you can even do it this way. You can, let's say, apply for the Chinese language program in the spring intake for like 1 semester, and then in the following in the next intake in September you can start your master's program. Or if you want to study simultaneously both programs at the same time, then that's possible as well, as long as you can manage your time well. But I do really suggest that if you plan to study Chinese at the same time with your degree programs, I suggest doing that in your second year at least, because based on the experience, if you're in the second year or like in the upper years, you'll be less busy compared to if you are still in a freshman. Yeah, so another question from Nadia, should I really get a high degree? So what are the maximum degree in order to get a scholarship in China? So like I explained before, it depends on which program you're applying for. If you want to apply for the bachelor's degree, then you need bachelor's program, then you need to have a high school diploma. For master's program, you need to have a bachelor's diploma. For PhD program, you need to have a master's diploma. Yeah. Hi Osman, yeah, thank you for joining this as well. And if you still have any questions, please do let us know, and I will DM you about the HSK program where you can get from HSK level 0 to level 4 in just 6 weeks. I'll DM you about that so you can stay informed and you can possibly apply for the program at Dalian Yusof University of Information to get your HSK level 4 in just six months. Yeah. Right, so I still have a few more questions that I haven't covered, I think. Or is it everything? Yeah, so again, the most asked questions, I'll just discuss about it again. So everybody is asking about when will international students be able to return to China? So the answer is, it is yet unknown. So right now, we still don't have an official information yet from the Chinese government about this. And thus international students are still not yet allowed to come back to China at the moment. So we are still waiting for the update from the Chinese government, and the universities are also still waiting for the updates from the Chinese government regarding the border reopening date. So once it is open in the future, then we will be the one who to let everybody knows about this good news. So yeah, let's stay hopeful and let's keep strong and let's keep enjoying the online classes, although there must be some difficulties in doing the online classes compared to the on-campus in-person one. But I hope that all of you can stay strong in this middle of the pandemic. You can stay healthy as well until the time for all of you to make it back to China. So I have there's this question from Benaton. Can we apply for CSE scholarship without HSK? Yes, you can apply without HSK certificate if you're applying for the English taught program. So if you're applying for the English taught program, then there is no need to submit the HSK certificate. But if you're applying for the program in Chinese, like the degree programs in Chinese, then you need HSK certificate. Normally, universities are asking for HSK level 5 in China. So from Usama, can a student apply for CSE scholarship who is already in China? The opportunity is still open for the students, whether or not they are in China or outside of China. So you can still try applying for the CSE scholarship even if you're in China. You can also try applying for the university scholarship, for example, university partial scholarship, or like some government scholarship like the Beijing government scholarship or Shenzhen government scholarship. There are multiple types of scholarships that international students, whether they are currently located in China or outside of China, can apply for. So if you want to know which type of scholarships that you can apply for, because there's just way too many to mention right now, please DM us, or you can like WhatsApp or like send us email so we can give you more detailed information about scholarships in China. So from Zane, when is MBBS application will be open? So yes, MBBS application and admissions for the September 2021 intake is actually already open right now. So if you want to apply for the September 2021 intake, then this is the best time for you to apply. You should be preparing for your application now because the deadline is normally around April until June this year. So make sure to start preparing your documents and then start filling in your online applications on China Admissions, and then you can upload your documents. And even if you don't have all of the complete documents by now, that's totally fine. You can upload it later, and after that you can complete your application, pay the application fee, and we'll process it right away to the universities. So from Space Tornadoes, when does the deadline for CSE scholarship end? So for CSE scholarship, the application deadline is around the end of March. So normally it's on the 31st of March each year, and after that universities in China do not accept any more CSE scholarships. So make sure if you're applying for the CSE, then you can apply before the deadline, because after that no more CSE scholarship application will be accepted. So from Nadia, if by September we can go to campus, can I choose to study online for the first year? If you can go to campus, if the border is open by September or by whenever it is, and if you still want to stay, if you want to study online because of the pandemic and the current situation, I think something like this is actually negotiable with the university. Yeah, because they know that even if like China and the COVID-19 in China is getting way better compared to like so many other countries in the world, but there are still other countries who are suffering from the COVID-19, and the situation may not be very good even to like travel. So yeah, something like this is definitely negotiable, and I'm pretty sure the university will understand your situation. Yeah, if you need our contact details, you can actually find it on our IG profile. You can find the link where you can get to search the program. You can contact us on email, on WhatsApp, and everything else. Or if you need to contact me on WeChat, please do let us know as well. You can just DM China Admissions, and then my colleague will give you my WeChat ID so we can stay in touch on WeChat as well. And then from IMSMKSK, does China accept students from India and offer job opportunity with the tensions in the border at the moment? Yes, China and Chinese universities do accept students from India. So it doesn't matter even if there is a tension between the two countries, but Indian students are still welcome to study at Chinese universities. And from Miss Green, yes, there are government scholarship for master's degree. If you need more questions about the scholarship, please do let us know, and we will send you full information about the scholarship and also about how to apply. So yes, another question is that what are the languages that our team speaks? So because like some of you may not speak English because it's not your mother language. It's not my native language as well. It's actually my second language. So because like our team at China Admissions came from different part of the world, so we have a multicultural background and we speak different languages as well. English happened to be our common language. So if you need any help in English or Bahasa Indonesia, if you're from Indonesia, please do contact me because I'm from Indonesia. You can contact Nadia from China Admissions. But if you need help in other languages like French, English, or Kenya, Rwanda, if you're from Rwanda, Africa, or if you're from any other French speaking country, you can contact my colleague Frank. He is from Rwanda, Africa, and he actually speaks French, English, and Kenya, Rwanda. So you can contact him on email. Probably I'll just type it here, our email addresses. So you can contact us if you have any questions about admissions to Chinese universities. Right. Right, so if you need help in French, you can contact my colleague Frank, who can assist you in French, because unfortunately I don't speak French at the moment. Yeah, so yeah, I think I cover all of the questions, right? Right, so don't worry, even if you speak like other languages, again, like Mongolian or Russian, please do let us know as well, because we have a team member. We have another colleague who's from Mongolia who can actually speak Mongolian, Russian, and English. And if you need help in Chinese as well, although my Chinese isn't so good, but we can still help you in Chinese as well, because like some of my other colleagues, they speak Chinese very well, and we do have a Chinese colleague who can help you as well. Yeah, so for all of you who wants to know about the scholarship, please do let us know. You can email us or send us a WhatsApp message or like DM us, and we can share you a full information about the scholarships available in China and how to apply. And for the English proficiency test like TOEFL, IELTS, or our China admissions international English test or IET test, you can take it if you're not from an English speaking countries. For example, if you're from Indonesia, or if you're from Thailand, from Myanmar, where English isn't your first language, then you better take the English proficiency test. But if your high school or if your university was taught in English, then you can ask your school or your university to write you a letter which says that the entire education was taught in English, therefore you can be exempted from taking the English proficiency test. Yeah, thanks a lot everybody who joined this online Q&A session. Yeah, sure, if you need my WeChat ID, please DM me so I can please DM this China admissions, so I'll let you know my WeChat ID so we can stay connected on WeChat as well. Yeah, so yeah guys, I think those are all. So basically, in conclusion, admissions for September 2021 is already open. So if you want to study at Chinese universities for Chinese language, for degree, bachelor's, master's, and PhD, then this is the best time for you to apply right now. You have to prepare your documents starting today, because there are a lot of documents that you need to prepare. And then make sure to have all the completed documents before the deadline. Do not waste your time right now and then wait until the final moment to apply, because it's not good to rush things out. It's best if you can do it step by step from now on. So yeah, if you want to apply, you can just go to China Admissions website to apply for, and then upload your documents there, pay the application fee, and we'll process it and submit it to the university, and we'll get in touch with you and the universities. And if you need help, any help at all with the admissions to China, with scholarships, with anything at all, just do let us know. You can DM us on Instagram, you can email us, you can send us WhatsApp message, or even schedule a one-on-one call with me or with my friend Frank. Yeah, and we will help you with giving you information about admissions to Chinese universities, and we'll get you with your applications, and we'll help you to get through the whole process. So yeah, thanks a lot guys for joining. If you still have any more questions, please do leave us an email or a message anywhere so you can stay in touch. And please don't forget to follow this Instagram account, and we do have YouTube channel as well. It's China Admissions. You can search it on YouTube, China Space Admissions, where we post a lot of interesting contents about study in China, about life in China, about admissions to Chinese universities. So those are all. Thanks a lot for everybody who joined, and yeah, see you next time. Stay safe and stay healthy everyone. Bye.